Look, I've always said from day one that this would go down to the wire. We still have 2 full days of campaigning to go, and I'm focused on talking to as many people as I can.
You've run a pretty low-key campaign this time compared to 2012. You haven't done that much in the way of media interviews. What's been behind that strategy?
Look, last time in Ashgrove we saw a media circus here. Clearly people have told me they did not want that this time. For me, my campaign has absolutely been focused on working with volunteers and trying to speak to as many locals as possible about the issues that matter to them.
Is it not so much hiding from what the Labor Party's trying to achieve if they win the election?
No, for me, I went through that last time. For me to actually stand again, one of the things that I really made clear to everyone is that I was going to run a very strong grassroots localised campaign, and I'll be doing that right up until 6 p.m. on Saturday night.
How would you describe Campbell Newman as a political opponent?
Look, obviously Campbell Newman is quite formidable, but I understood that. That was why, for me, it was a tough decision initially. But this is my community, where I live, and I think we deserve to have a local member that we can trust.
You've been out of Parliament since losing the last election. What experiences have you learnt from that time? What did you do wrong as an MP, as a minister, when you were in Parliament?
Well, I think anyone that loses an election is humbled by that experience. But I've definitely reflected on some of the things that I've done in the past. But I also know from all the conversations I've had, literally with thousands of local people, that they're telling me that they want someone they can look to, that is part of this community and they can trust, and they feel let down by Campbell Newman. He has not been here on the ground as much and hasn't listened to their concerns.
He does have a state to run, though.
I understand that.
So you can cut him some slack, given that it's not all about Ashgrove for Campbell Newman. Obviously he wants to retain the seat, but of course he is thinking of the rest of the state.
Of course, but it is the decisions that he has made as Premier that have hurt local people, whether I'm talking to nurses or ambulance officers or teachers or lawyers. They are telling me that when they voted for him, what he has delivered is not what they expected, and that is why they are feeling like a mood for a change.
Now, there are a lot of voters with deep Republican sentiments in Ashgrove, so therefore how helpful do you think the Prime Minister's decision to knight Prince Philip has been to your campaign?
Look, I think most people are sort of expressing that it was an unusual decision, but I don't think it's going to be a major player in this election.
Right, so you don't think federal factors will play a big role?
Obviously, I think there has been the concern of the cuts at a federal level and the cuts at a state level, but, I think there's also a lot of state issues that people are concerned about.